Hey folks, Dr. Gerstmar from Aspire Natural Health. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you happen to be listening to this. I hope you're having a great day. Today I wanted to talk about sympathy, support, and accountability. Sympathy, support, and accountability. One of the pieces that is often missing from people's health journey, or the what we call one of the success triad. So the success triad are the three factors that we found that make a huge difference between success and failure. Most of the people who fail, who don't get the results they're looking for, don't have all three pieces of the success triad in place. And most of the people who succeed, who get the goals, who heal, who get the results they're looking for in dealing with their digestive issues and autoimmunity, have the success triad in place. The success triad, just briefly here, is education, support, and guidance. So under that support side of things, this is one key piece that is often missing for people. There are three possible components we talk about: sympathy, support, and accountability. Now, sympathy, I think of like what your mom should do. You're having a hard time at things. Life can be tough, right? We're struggling in our health and dealing with digestive issues or autoimmunity or other areas of our life, our job, finances, relationships, whatever the case might be. We all go through tough times. And sympathy, in my mind, is like what your mom should do. Oh, honey, come here. Let's have a hug. It's okay. Things are really tough. I understand. Tell me all about it. It's a chance to vent, connect emotionally, have someone validate what you're feeling. So sympathy is wonderful. It can take the sting out of an emotionally tough time for us. So sympathy is great. However, there is a dark side to sympathy. There's two pieces of it, right? The first is that sympathy can devolve into excuse making. Listen, changing our diet is challenging for most of us. Making these changes, dealing with digestive issues and autoimmunity, dealing with life is challenging. It's not easy to reach our goals and do the things that we want to do. That's the truth. However, we can get into excuse making. Well, it's just too hard, or I can't do it, or, the environment is against me, whatever that might be. We can wallow in our excuses. Sympathy makes us feel better, 100%. But the dark side is that it can become enabling of excuses, right? So we just give up and try because our mom is hopefully always going to accept us, always going to be there to give us that sympathy that helps. So it's great to get sympathy. We want to make use of it. We also need to recognize that once that emotional sting has been soothed, we need to move beyond sympathy. So the second level for me is support. Having someone say, yes, listen, I know it's hard. I'm here to support you. What do you need to change this situation, right? Do you need someone to listen to you? Do you need someone to brainstorm with you, possible ideas, work through thoughts? What, help you make a plan? What do you need to change the situation? Sympathy says it is a situation and it's okay. Support says, okay, what do you need in order to change this situation and continue moving towards the goals that you have set? Now, again, support is great. Having someone helping us through the process is great. The negative side of support is simply that support does not guarantee action. I think all of us, I know I certainly have, I'm sure you have, sat down and made plans and figured out what you're going to do, whether it's dealing with digestive issues or autoimmunity, whether it's, losing some weight or making money or getting a new job or whatever it might be. We've all made plans and then not followed through with those plans, right? So that's where the third piece comes in, and that's, the third piece that we're looking for is accountability. This is where we need a bit of tough love. We need someone to say, okay, you've made a plan. Did you do your plan? I'm going to hold you accountable, and I'm not going to allow you to make a whole bunch of excuses for why this didn't happen. So in a way, sympathy and accountability are opposite sides of the coin. Sympathy is all about soothing us, accepting our excuses, sympathizing with us. Accountability is all about not accepting excuses and pushing someone to do the things that they need to do. Now, all three of these pieces are vital for us. We need sympathy to take the sting out of situations. We need support to help us to make plans and support us doing those plans as we move forward. And we need accountability, someone to hold us accountable, to give us a kick in the butt and say, why are you doing the things that you said you were going to do? And if not, why? Right? So all three of these pieces. And we often find that in the different relationships in our lives, one or more of these things tends to predominate. So for a lot of us, our parents and our loved ones can be a great source of sympathy. Wonderful. Coaches, on the other hand, can be great sources of support and accountability for us. Now, only you can decide the right mix of sympathy, support, and accountability. Like we said, when the ratio gets too far off, it doesn't start to work. What I've seen happen with some people, different coaches, different mentors, or different, let's call them very blunt people. I've had the experience of having some people who, quote unquote, tell it like it is, and I'm not going to coddle you. And the accountability can devolve into harshness, if you will. Right? Again, there is a balance between all of these things, and only you can decide. Some of us need a little bit more accountability in our lives. We're good on sympathy and support. We just need someone who's really going to kick us in the butt, not take no for an answer, and force us to move forward. Others of us, too much accountability without that support and sympathy side of things can serve to demotivate us. Most of us don't like getting our butt kicked. Again, there's a place for it, right? But most of us don't like getting our butt kicked on a regular basis. So ultimately, we need a balance, and only we can decide what that balance is. Having said that, we need all three pieces in place. So think about the relationships in your life. Who do you go to for sympathy and comfort? Who do you go to that supports you in your goals, your dreams, the things you're trying to achieve? And who do you know who holds you accountable? Now, it may be one person who does all three of these things, or it may be a few different people in your life, or examining your life, you may realize that one or more of these pieces is missing. And often when one or more of the pieces is missing, we're just not going to get the results we want. Again, our mom ideally is there for sympathy and support, but not very much at holding us accountable. And that's one area we often see people don't have enough accountability in our lives. And for some of us, we have too much accountability without enough support or sympathy in our lives. And for most of us, that doesn't work either. The other thing to realize is that our needs for each of these three things are going to fluctuate over time. Sometimes life has just beat us down and we haven't gotten the success that we're looking for, and we're going through a tough time. Getting our butt kicked with more accountability in that moment is just not the thing that's going to help us. Maybe that's time for more sympathy and support in your life. At other times, things are firing on all cylinders, and we mostly just need accountability to keep us pushing forward and moving towards the goals in our life. So first and foremost, we need all three things: support, sympathy or comfort, support, and accountability. Do you have all three of them, and who in your life is giving them to you? Now, in your life, the mix of a person who you are, what ratio do you need of those things? Keeping in mind that a lot of us want to duck the accountability piece, so making sure that we're not, 95% sympathy and support and 5% accountability, because that's generally not going to help us reach our goals. And then recognizing that it also will shift over time, depending on where we are in our life, what's going on, our emotional state. We may need one or more of those things. But over time, we're going to need a balance of all three pieces in our life. So important thing to think about: who is providing those things? Are you missing one or more of those pieces in your life? And if you are, who can serve to give you those pieces? Now, ideally, your health practitioner is there. We tend to provide a small amount of sympathy, not too much, because again, we don't want to get drawn into your story and excuses. Often, our role is to provide you a lot of support and also the necessary accountability to move forward. And we found over the years with the Success Triad, bringing it back to the earlier point, that the support side of things, education, guidance, and support, is often the missing component. So within support, we've talked about sympathy and comfort, support and and accountability. Having all those pieces, recognizing that it changes over time. All right, folks, that is it for me today. Listen, talking about support. Ideally, all of us have that support in our lives. We're surrounded by people who support us in our goals, who want us to be healthy, who want to see us recover from digestive issues and autoimmunity. The reality is a lot of us don't have all of those people that we need. And that's why we created the ANH Academy. That's the ANH Academy, or Aspire Natural Health Academy. All you need to do is go to facebook.com and search for ANH Academy, facebook.com, search for ANH Academy. There are 3 super quick, super easy questions for you to answer, and then you can join us about a minute later in the ANH Academy. It's a place we've gathered people together, people who are committed to following a health path and following a health journey, and are there to support each other. Again, the missing component that we're often missing. Is it perfect? No. But is it a great place to get some support, get some help as we move through our health journey? Absolutely. So I'd like to invite you to join us. Go to facebook.com, punch in ANH, that's Aspire Natural Health Academy, and join us today. All right, folks, that is it for me today. Until next time, take care.